Yo, yo, yo. What is going on, everybody? It is great to have you with me. The Minnesota Vikings did not extend their winning streak. They lose last night on Sunday Night Football to the Denver Broncos 21-20. Gosh darn it. As the late, great Denny Green would say, if you want to crown them, crown them. They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Well, that's all right. If there was a game to lose, losing against an AFC team on the road, Sunday Night Football, I'm not saying you want to lose. You never want to lose. You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's all right, though. It's just one game. The season's not over. In fact, it's just getting started. They're 6-5. They're still in prime playoff position to win a wild card. The division might be out of reach. You know, we talked about for a couple of weeks, hey, we just need to stay within 2 games of Detroit because we're going to have 2 games against them in the last 3. And if we win those 2 games, hey, we win the division. Well, that's going to be tough. We'll talk a little bit more about that during the NFC Roundup. But let's get some shout outs to some people in the building already. Grandpa Dave gets the number 1 tonight. This should be good. So much to discuss. You are correct. If you don't already subscribe to Vikings First and SKOL, both on the YouTube page as well as your favorite podcast aggregator, Spotify, iTunes, etc., hit up Vikings First and SKOL. Let's get some numbers going on there. We got my guy T-Bass in the building. They are stuck in a continuous loop of close games, win or lose, KOC batted in-game adjustments. That might be on the docket, T-Bass. That might be on the docket. I'm not totally around to your way of thinking, but I'm not as far away from as I used to be. Because there's good and there's bad, but we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about it. Shout out Raymond in the building. What's going on, Raymond? Good to see you again. I think it's the 3rd time tonight I've seen you. Appreciate you. We got Roger in the building. What's up, Roger? Hi. How's it going? Yeah, I know. Vikings had an opportunity. Missed opportunities. We'll get to that. Shout out to the OG McAndrews. What's going on, McAndrews? Good to see you. SKOL to you as well. We got Dave Thibodeau in the building. What's going on, Dave? Good to see you. Good to see you. We got Clifford in here. What's going on, Clifford? Good to see you as well. We got Lord Duncan in the building. All right, Lord. I see you again. That's 2 in a row. Appreciate you so very, very much. You know, I first saw Lord Duncan over on the One Bar Lubbock show, and during one of their horned up, he was on the mic right before I was. I was like, well, I got to follow the Lord. Good luck to me there. Appreciate you, Lord. I appreciate you. We got the bane of my existence. No, not really. Too Evil to Hope is in the house. What's going on? The season is over again. It's not over, Too Evil. It's not over. It's not over. But I do agree with McAndrew's point here. A lot to improve on, starting with the coach. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to get to that. Lord Duncan says, got my fireball for the show too. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. If you didn't already do so, let's hit the reset button. And for those of you who've been on my show at least once, you know what I mean by that. And that is simply this. Hit that like button on your way in. Wipe your feet at the door. You know, when you go to somebody's house, you wipe your feet at the door, get the mud off your shoes. Just hit that like button. It's free. It's easy. Doesn't cost you anything but a click. If you don't already subscribe to Purple and Gopher Days, hit that subscribe button. Just got me. And I want to say thank you to everybody. I'm finally above 900. It's now official. You see, the last couple of times I hit a milestone of like 800, I went on the next day and then I'd drop 1 or 2 and then I'd be back down under it. So I always wait till I'm like 3, 4, 5 clear of a milestone. Well, I'm going to say it. It's official. 900, baby. Thank you so very, very much to all of you who have hit me up, shown me the loyalty, and the loyalty to all the Vikings content creators, Vikings First and SKOL, One Bar Lubbock, I've already mentioned, Rap at Purple Pocket Podcast, Dave at Minnesota Sports, Jamie and Casey on GG Sports, Rhino at Vikings Uncensored, everybody. We all appreciate you guys so very, very much. We got Cody in the building. What's up, Cody? KOC. Oh, boy. Again, a lot of KOCs in here already. I'm going to get to that. We're going to talk about that tonight. That's for daggone sure. But now that I've got everybody shouted out here, I know we're a little light today. We're a little down a little bit after the game yesterday. And, oh, by the way, there's some other Monday Night Football game on tonight between a couple of good teams. We finally got a good Monday night matchup. And, oh, by the way, 7-7 at the 2-minute warning. So expected a little bit more scoring, but team's still trying to figure it out. Everybody talking about, oh, Taylor Swift's not here and Travis Kelce can't do anything when Taylor Swift's not in the building, as if he didn't do anything before Taylor Swift got up in the mix. But whatever. That's fine. But we all know how we start the show. We start out by shouting out the people in the building who have joined me here tonight. But before I got to get this, I hate it when I got to take off my shoes. Well, there's that, Lord. There is that. But it's a great expression that rap came up with once. Hey, wipe your feet at the door. Didn't say take your shoes off. Just said wipe your feet at the door. All right, let's cut the music. We got to get serious for a minute here, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get serious. So I shout out everybody who is joining me and put something in the chat at the beginning of the show. Also shout out a few other people as well. And that is to the active and veteran members of every branch of our military whose sacrifices made everything we do possible, the freedoms we enjoy to drink our beers on Sunday or Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, regardless of what night it is. The sacrifices to earn that freedom and to keep that freedom knows no bounds. So we say thank you to both active and veteran members, as well as the members of their family who have to sacrifice time away from their loved ones so that we can be free. Shout out goes to the brave men and women who serve as our law enforcement, firefighters, and EMS, who in times of tragedy are the ones running towards the danger, while the rest of us are just trying to get away from it. You potentially put your lives on the line every day that you put on that uniform and go to work. So we're going to say thank you for keeping us safe. And as always, to the doctors, nurses, frontline workers, home health care providers, surgeons, thank you so very, very kindly for in our time of medical need, you are there to do your level best to nurse us back to health. The brave men and women who are all so full of strength, of character, and courage, and whatever superlatives you want to use, can at times work very thankless jobs. And we as a society at times do not say thank you enough. So as long as I got a microphone and I got people tuning in, I'm going to start my show by saying thank you to these brave men and women. Thank you so very, very kindly. Let's get a couple more shout outs in here before we get to the topics. This is going to be I'm not going to say abbreviated. It's going to be a touch less because, it's Thanksgiving week. We coming off of the L last night. Everybody probably staying up a little bit later doing their post-game shows or watching post-game shows. And, we're just trying to get to Wednesday afternoon. Most of us. Some people do work Thanksgiving. And for those of you who do work on jobs that do not get Thanksgiving off, we thank you for that as well. But we're going to get in, get out. We're going to make this, I know I always say, I'm going to keep it to under an hour. I'm going to keep it under 40 minutes. I'm not going to give a prediction on how long I'm going to be on the mic tonight because, my predictions are always wrong when it comes to that. But we're going to keep this simple tonight. And we're going to get into the Thanksgiving mood. I'm not going to, yeah, I am. The good thing about November football, the greatest holiday of all time is Thanksgiving. You got your big old turkey here and your mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing. And I just love Thanksgiving. Late, great John Madden there. But in all seriousness, we're going to get into the holiday spirit. So at the end of the night, put in what you're thankful for in the chat. Not now. Once we get towards the end, I'll say it again. But before I do that, let me get the last set of, okay, it's pouring rain, Casey. All right, fair enough. On the bright side, C didn't hurt the team. It does not take T-Bass long to get the obligatory Lewis scene comment into the chat. Thank you, T-Bass. I appreciate you. Lord says, considering we got lucky on the previous 2 wins, we shouldn't be yeah, maybe. It's all about your expectations. It's all about setting reasonable expectations as to, okay, what should be expected and what shouldn't. But we'll get to that. First off, let's cut the music back on, and we'll do a little something like this. We'll do this one. First and foremost, as much as we hate doing it, we got to do the NFC North Roundup. And it didn't go well for us this weekend, aside from the fact that the Vikings lost. The Green Bay Packers pulled out a victory over the Los Angeles Chargers of Anaheim. That team, the Chargers. How we lose to those guys, by the way? Anyway, Green Bay played like garbage. They're still terrible, but you know what? They're not all that far behind us. But congratulations, Green Bay. You just screwed up your draft position anymore. You're not going anywhere. It was an ugly win. A couple of drop passes from some wide receivers all throughout the game. The Chargers should have won that game by 10 points, but alas, congratulations. We're happy for you. The Detroit Lions escape from the Chicago Bears. Talk about they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. If you want to crown them, then crown them. All right, crown them. But, here's the thing. I'm not really hating on Detroit for winning a close game because you take a W any way you can get it. You take the W any way you can get it. But here's what I don't understand. Last year, the Vikings were, they're just lucky. They're fraudulent. They're winning all these close games. And their points above expected, or their marginal stuff, whatever the heck you want to call it. Point differential, I suppose. Oh, they have a negative point differential. They're not any good. Okay, keep that same energy is all I'm saying. Keep the same energy for the Detroit Lions that you had for the Vikings last year in national media. All of a sudden, Detroit's the darlings. Oh, well, they beat Kansas City by 1 point, and they didn't have Kelsey or Jones. Great, we're happy for you. I mean, again, you don't have to apologize for that win, but this notion that Detroit are the darlings of the NFC and they're only behind Philly and San Francisco, but they're a great team. No, they're a good team. And they had some bounces, but the Bears were up by 12 points with 4 minutes left to go. That is almost as bad as when the Packers blew that NFC Championship game against the Sea Chickens. Okay, so you know what, Detroit? Congratulations, you're the king of the North right now, and we've lost our ability to control our own density. I mean, your destiny. It's a reference to Back to the Future. If y'all didn't know that, if you didn't know Back to the Future, come on now. Anyway, jokes aside, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers will be the lid lifter of Thanksgiving this Thursday. And at the end of the day, it still is a win-win for the Vikings, because if Detroit wins, that means Green Bay loses. We're always good to have Green Bay lose anytime, much less on Thanksgiving Day. And if somehow the Green Bay Packers win, well, then that means Detroit lost. So it's a win-win. But for right now, anyway, that division's looking a little sketchy. Yeah, I know. We got a pretty easy schedule. We got some good games coming up. No, so do they. Okay, their schedule's every bit as easy as ours. So might need to put the kibosh on the division talk for a couple of weeks anyway. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But it just makes me feel, it gives me the heebie-jeebies that we're pulling for Green Bay to win. Ugh. But I digress. All right, back to the chats here. What's going on, you guys? I know we got a couple of people in here. Well, shout out to Raymond again. Amen to the man. Absolutely. 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 Shout out to the greatest single Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, TikTok, AOL handle of all time, My Worthless Opinion. Why? Because it's a great handle, My Worthless Opinion. But your opinion is rarely, if ever, worthless, especially on my show. So, Worthless, thanks for joining tonight. I appreciate you. We got a house call from the doctor. The doctor's in the house. What's going on, Dr. Proto? Good to see you here as well, as always. We got Lord Duncan. Shout out Lord Duncan with the YouTube membership. Everybody hit this man up with a thank you and a shout out to the Lord as well. Thank you so very kindly, Lord Duncan. I appreciate you. I very do much appreciate you. And if you don't already know, the memberships are just $2.99 a month. That's half of a Starbucks or Caribou coffee. I know T-Bass will get his line in about how much he loves Starbucks and Caribou, but at any point in time on any of my Thursday or Monday night shows. So if you want to tonight, anyone of you got that Vikings helmet, shoot me an email, JDay24. Put it in the chat. If you want to come on, I'll get you a couple minutes on the mic tonight. Any other time, Monday nights, Thursday nights. That's what the membership gets you. And it also gets you the ability to send me an email to the members only exclusive mailbox. Put a topic, put in the subject line, ask Justin anything. You can ask me anything Vikings related or NFL related. Do not ask me about the meaning of life or about Einstein's theory of relativity. But $2.99 a month. Shout out to Lord Duncan. I very much appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Most Vikings fans were upset. We're getting pissed last night when hearing things you say about the Well, what can you do, T-Bass? What the heck can you do? I appreciate you, Lord. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all you guys and gals. I really do. All right. What's next on the extravaganza? All right. We'll start out with the defense. The defense did its job yesterday. A lot of people say, oh, the defense couldn't get a stop at the end and gave up that touchdown way too easy. All right. Let's break the whole thing down. Your offense turned the ball over 3 times. And on those 3 possessions, the Denver Broncos got exactly 9 points. That's 3 field goals. Well, they could stop them. Okay. First one, third play of the game. They're down inside the red zone pert near. Hold them to a field goal. That's a victory. Russell Wilson didn't get anything done for the first 58 minutes. And yes, Russell Wilson does have a propensity to come up clutch. And he came up clutch. You got to give him credit. You got to give him credit. The only thing that I will say about the defense yesterday was on that last drive, I would have preferred a little bit more than just 3-man rushes and occasional 4th man. Get a blitz in there. Do something different. But when you've only given up 5 field goals through the first 58 minutes and your offense isn't putting that team away, the defense is the only reason we was in that game. Yeah, the offense had a couple of good drives that we'll talk about here in a minute. But defense, I heard too many people yesterday saying, hell, the defense wasn't all that good yesterday. What? 21 points on the road 5 field goals and 1 touchdown and stopped them on a 2-point conversion to give your offense a chance to just need a field goal to win. I'm sorry, I'm not listening to anything about how the defense didn't do its job. Yeah, it did. Now, if we want to talk about Mekhi Blackmon, he did not have a good game yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. He really did not. It was kind of bad, actually. Now, was it horrible? Like, oh my gosh, cut the guy? No, I'm not saying that, but could have used a Caleb Evans, a little bit of a bigger, more physical cornerback. Mekhi Blackmon got picked on a lot yesterday. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. This ain't college anymore. But what I will say is this. I'm really not happy with Mekhi Blackmon's coverage on that touchdown. Aside from the fact that you gave up a touchdown. And Josh Metellus was out of position too. But I'm going to say it like this. He just stood there like he was an outfielder waiting for the pop fly to come down. It's like he did not react anywhere close to as fast as he should have reacted. And it's just like, why are you just standing there? Move, hit the guy, do something. Standing around doing nothing. And I said this last week on the Chris Olave touchdown in the back corner of the end zone. Yes, I know. As a defensive back, you want to get an interception. You want to force a turnover. You want to get the ball back in the game, whatever the case may be. If you are not 100% that you can get to that ball, just let the wide receiver catch it and push him out of bounds. Don't let him land in bounds. Sometimes your better strategy is to just let him catch it in the air. If it's a higher ball like that, let him catch it and push him and don't let him land. I get it. I never played football. I don't know what it's like to be an NFL player. But it would seem simple to me that if the rules are the way they are, take advantage of what the rules are. The guy's got to come down and you can push him out of bounds. I'm not saying push him out of bounds before the ball gets there. That ball hung up in the air for about 15 seconds. I mean, geez. He just threw it up there, fair catch it, pop fly, whatever you want to call it. My goodness, the ball just sat up there and sat up there. So again, if you're not going to react well enough, and you know you're not going to be, he totally mistimes his jump. He wasn't in position. It's like, dude, just knock the guy out of bounds. But sans that, yeah, Russell Wilson, what did he do much of last night? Check down here, check down there, occasional pass completion here or there. Defense did its job, yo. And without Jordan Hicks, by the way, Pace gang, Ivan Pace played every snap, and he was he spectacular? No, but he was representative. He was representative, absolutely. And what did they do on the ground? Not much. He was a terror on run defense. So right now, I'm not listening to anybody say that the defense didn't do a good enough job just because they gave up a score with 103 left on the clock. They were the only reason the Vikings were in that game. And as I said, they did come up clutch and stop the 2-point conversion, which means you were only down 1 where you just needed to get in field goal range. We'll talk about that final drive here in a little bit, but no, defense did enough. And it's a game of inches because we got 3 turnovers offensively, didn't get any on defense, right? Live and Pace on that game winning drive for the touchdown actually did strip a guy. The problem is the ball just rolled right out of bounds. He just needed to be 2 feet a little inward from the sidelines because there were 2 other Vikings players right there to pounce on it. Game of inches. But as far as the defense go, no, I really don't have too many qualms about them, particularly with the fact that, again, you didn't have Jordan Hicks. Anthony Barr made an appearance. Okay, not bad for coming off the street, coming off the scrap heap, so to speak. And again, we got 1 more week before the bye. We got the Bears, who, again, just completely crapped the bed. We should be all right next Monday night. We'll get to that a little bit later here, but defense did his job. I'm not listening to anybody say otherwise. Were they perfect? No. Were they the Baltimore Ravens of 2000 or the 85 Bears? No. But this defense was never designed to be that. It was designed to be just okay, and they've been better than just okay. They've been pretty good. So I ain't listening to this mess about the defense didn't do its job. Yeah, it did. All right, back to the comments. I know I got some new people in the building. I got to get shouted out here. So, but before I do that, see, I almost forgot. I'm getting better at this. Hit that like button. It's free to hit that like button. It does not cost you anything. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if this is your first time here. You ain't subscribed to me here. Appreciate you guys. I think KOC needs to borrow my class. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Shout out Frozen North. T-Bass, I will never root for Green Bay. You can threaten me with a hot poker. That's why I love having T-Bass here. I mean, guys, gals, what else do I need to say? No, I will not root for him. The only time that I would ever root for Green Bay is if it was like the last week of the season, and if they won, that would clinch us a playoff spot or clinch us a home field advantage or something like that. And even then, it's not that I'm really rooting for them. I'm just not disappointed that they won. But in all seriousness, no, I don't care. When I'm watching that game, as much as it would benefit the Vikings for the Lions to lose, no, I'm not cheering when the Packers score. I'm not doing anything like that. Shout out Sports Haven in the building. What's going on, Sports Haven? How you doing? They need Jefferson back. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. Yeah, Denver's offense was very, very bad. No, we should have won that game. Vikings defense did well. Yeah. They did enough. Is all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Shout out Caesar in the building. What's going on? Blackman needs to either step up or be benched. That duck at the end would have been picked you out. Yes, that's a better way to describe it. It was an absolute duck. And like I said, I don't know what he was thinking, or he didn't react, or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but it is what it is. Shout out Cody. It's all KOC's fault. Bad coach. Again, I'm gonna get to KOC. Believe that. You better believe that. I got something for KOC tonight. Shout out to Dylan. Late to the party. Hey, you made it. That's all that matters. Lord Duncan asked how long we missing Jordan Hicks at least. Yeah, they put him on injury reserve, so you might have at least 4 weeks. So yesterday was the first one, then Chicago, then who's after that? The Raiders. Who do we have after the Raiders? Oh, the Bengals. Yeah. So the first game he could come back potentially would be the first Detroit game. Yeah, the first game against Detroit. Oh, yeah, I'll get you hooked up. In fact, I'll try and do that here real quick. But we got Dayon. Shout out Dayon in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you. We got George in the building. What's up, George? Good to see you again. Saw you the last couple of days. Lord Duncan says you ain't late as fashionable. There you go. Last night's game was reminiscent to the Tampa. Oh, absolutely. No question about that, T-Bass. Absolutely reminiscent to the Tampa Bay game. And frankly, the Chargers game too. That's a couple of games that at the end of the season, if this Vikings team ends up missing the playoffs, that's just going to be one of those games that you look back at and say, wow, we should have had that one. All right. You got it, Haven. There you go. I forget who number 4 is, but he played both of them. Josh Metellus, I believe. Yep. Second half of the Saints game and the Jordan offense. Yes, again, I'm gonna stop putting these up because I got a lot. What's going on? Yes, that's all he did. Dink and dunk. That's all he did yesterday. He can't pass the ball more than 25 yards. He did absolutely nothing. RD was good the second. Yes, I'll give you that one, Lord. Absolutely. Oh, they got a field goal. All right. Go KC. Anybody but Philadelphia. Shout out Reggie in the building. What's going on, Reggie? Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. We also got Jim, NFL 7. Defense kept the fight. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. All right, Frozen, what you got for me? It'll be most wound healing from the surgery. Oh, yeah. I really do hope he's actually back to. I don't know. I think he's going to be out for more than 4 weeks. I hope not. I hope he's able to get rested up and whatever else. But said it 2 weeks ago. We need to stop, baby. I'm going to talk about that too. I'm going to get you. I got you, T-Bass. Two-Tone Tony, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm chilling, man. It's Thanksgiving week, one of the best holidays of the year. Do you think Blackman is the defense weak link? Maybe. They exploited him yesterday, so that's for dang sure. I think that Ivan Pace did a good enough job filling in for Jordan Hicks. But, yeah, I think that the secondary at time. Now, you got to remember that Flores does put those guys on an island. He really does. So, yeah. Outside, Byron Murphy, he's okay. Harrison Smith's still good. And of course, you got Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus. Those guys good. So, yeah, I would say that I don't know if he's the biggest weakest link, because outside of DJ Wanham and Daniil Hunter, do you really have all that much on the defensive line? But you can make that argument. Absolutely. You can make that argument. Vikings fan 123. What's going on? Shout out. And I like this one. Thanksgiving is better than Christmas. I'm not trying to change your mind on that because I agree wholeheartedly. I absolutely agree wholeheartedly. The Vikings need to play their practice squad. No, I already told you. 7-10. You got to beat Green Bay. Always got to beat Green Bay. Shout out to Cork in the building. What's going on, Cork? Purple People leader. Dobb looked like a backup quarterback last night. Yeah, we're going to talk about him too. So next on the list. First off, let's get a little something else going on here. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. All right. Let's get to it. Missed opportunity. You say that about the whole team. You say that about the offense. But most importantly, the head coach. Now, here's the deal. As T-Bass pointed out earlier, the Vikings this year are 1-2 against teams above 500 with winning records and are 2-3 against teams with 500 record or better. That's true. And KOC does not walk on water. But you got to remember, this is his second season as a head coach. But I'm going to say this. Why in the world am I coming on my show or going on Vikings First and SKOL or any other channel that I contribute to? Why am I still talking about Alexander Mattison as the Vikings #1 running back? Frankly, the only thing that I'm more tired about talking about is Kirk Cousins. Okay, let that sink in for a second. We shouldn't even be talking about Kirk Cousins right now. It's the only thing that I don't want to talk about less, that I want to talk about less, is Kirk Cousins, because I am so sick and tired of this. I used the phrase in the offseason, no more sacred cows. And I was referring at the time to players that have been here for a long time and gotten special preferential treatment. And, you know, guys like Adam Thielen and Eric Kendricks and Dalvin Cook. It's like, now put the sacred cows out to pasture. Here's the thing about KOC that I absolutely don't like. Again, I'm not trying to be ultra negative over one loss on the road by 1 point. This is an overall thing. Stop being too loyal and doing things that are hurting the team. Okay. This time last year, roughly, we had just gotten mollywopped by the Dallas Cowboys after that knockdown, drag out 15-round heavyweight bout against the Buffalo Bills. We won in overtime. We came home and got destroyed by the Cowboys 40-3. And everybody in the world was saying it's time to get rid of Ed Donashell. Now, at the time, I said, okay, we got a game in 4 days on Thanksgiving night. We had the headliner against the New England Patriots. So I said, you can't make a change when you only got 4 days to prepare. Okay, fine. Then Mac Jones went for like 400-some yards against us. Mac Jones, who's terrible. And at that point where I was like, I don't care that we just won. We need to get rid of Ed Donashell, or we at least need to take away defensive play calling away from him. Okay. Kevin O'Connell didn't do that. He said, no, I'm right. I'm dancing with the girl who brought me here. At the end of the season, he made a move to get rid of Ed Donashell. We should have done it sooner. So I feel like this Alexander Mattison thing is reminiscence of that, where he's just being too loyal. Listen, it's nothing personal against Alexander Mattison. As I said, we've had his father on the channels with us, met his father at SKOL Fest the night before the week 1 game against Tampa Bay, met some of his family, love the guy. He's a great and wonderful human being. So I'm not saying anything personal, but what I am saying is Alexander Mattison, he's just a guy. He's a good change of pace back, but that's it. He's not a bell cow. And I'm not even really here to say that Ty Chandler absolutely is a bell cow, but I'd like to see it. The definition of insanity. Same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? Okay. Put Ty Chandler in there. Yesterday, let's take out the run, that fourth down fake punt. I mean, yes, it's a carry, but it's not a play from scrimmage. Alexander Mattison had 18 carries. Ty Chandler had 9. There is no way Alexander Mattison should be getting twice as many carries as Ty Chandler. None. And I don't want to hear this BS about, well, he's not very good at picking up the blitz. Okay, yes. Yesterday, he didn't get the best blitz pickup, which ultimately led to the Josh Dobbs interception. That's one play. Stop acting like they didn't blitz when Ty Chandler was in there any other play but that one. He had 3 or 4 good blitz pickups. Every running back is going to have their good blitz pickups and their bad blitz pickups. That's just reality. And to try to say, well, you can't have Ty Chandler be the guy because he can't pick up the blitz. Look at this one play. Okay, come on. We got to have a bigger sample size than one play. And yeah, it was a bad play. It ended up being one of our 3 turnovers. I get that. That's part of the evaluation. But the other part of the evaluation is, yeah, yesterday, Alexander Mattison, that was probably his best game of the season. And it was still like, boy, there were opportunities there to have much more. I mean, the Vikings ran for almost 200 yards yesterday. Not quite the 250 that I had predicted. Might have been a touch over the top, but that's all right. My point is this. Okay, here's what it is. 175 yards running. And it could have been more. How many times do we see Alexander Mattison go off tackle for 11 yards and Ty Chandler would have taken it for at least 20? 3 by my count. So all I'm going to say is this, and I jokingly said this Like, does Alexander Madison have some dirt on Kevin O'Connell? Like, he's got some photographs in a compromising position, and he's using that as blackmail to constantly say, nope, he's going to be my starting running back. I don't know. All I know is that it was a missed opportunity yesterday. Now, Kevin O'Connell, you talk all this big game about when the team is turning the ball over. I mean, look at the Vikings games this year. When they turn the ball over, they lose. And when they don't, they win. Now, you can't eliminate turnovers, but there's just way too many. It's just too many. You're not going to win consistently. And you're not going to be able to have your defense bail you out all the time. Against San Francisco, they turned the ball over on their first drive, and the defense got a turnover back. So that's a wash. Your defense is not going to be able to cover for you that much. It's just ridiculous how many turnovers we have had on the first possession or the first two possessions this year. I mean, make it stop. Please do something. KOC. I'm sorry, but this is on you. This is absolutely on you. Oh, well, I heard this quote in his presser. I think it was yesterday after the game. We've learned this lesson before. We're going to have to do this and this. Well, clearly you didn't learn your lesson. If it's still happening and you made this threat, if these guys don't stop turning the ball over, I'm going to start benching people until they figure out that they can't keep doing that. All right. So where are you at with that? Where are you at? Because I ain't seen anybody getting benched. Certainly not Alexander Madison. His fumble in the red zone is what completely turned that game around. You're up 17-9. You're up 8 points. You're about to score a touchdown. You've gone up and down the field on that drive. And then he fumbles it. And that's where Denver said, all right, you know what? If you're going to keep turning the ball over, we're going to stay in this game. You put a touchdown on that board, go up 24-9 or maybe 23, who knows, Greg Joseph and all, but you'd been up 14 or 15 points. They were not going to be able to score that many points against you the way the defense was playing. That fumble is really what set that game into a loss. Was that the only reason they lost yesterday? No. Yeah, you can talk a little bit about the officiating, but I'm not here to talk about the officiating when you turn the ball over 3 times. No, I'm not listening to that. That you can talk about it, but that ain't the main reason they lost. Period. End of discussion. So all I'm going to say is this. Kevin O'Connell, it's kind of, and I said this on my earlier show with Rap over on his channel. We did our Rapping for Days tonight since we didn't want to do it until midnight last night. It's kind of like being a parent. You love your kids. You want to shield them from as many evils of the world that there are, right? But at some point, there are days where you have to be a parent. I am your dad. I am not your friend, as I say to my daughter all the time. Kevin O'Connell, you are the head coach. You're not their friend. If you got to go to Alexander Madison and be like, dude, I'm benching you because you ain't getting the job done and you're fumbling too daggone much. Sorry. I appreciate loyalty. I appreciate being a player's coach. I appreciate empowering players, unlike Zimmer, who just tore everybody down all the time. But Zimmer, to his credit, you want to know, he would have already benched Alexander Madison. And he would have called Alexander Madison out in the media. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but what I am saying is you cannot continue to go on and on with all of these turnovers, and you cannot continue to not be playing your best players. I'm sorry. Alexander Madison should not be getting the bulk of the carries. You shouldn't. You just shouldn't. As far as the rest of KOC, last week came out on fire the first half, second half, play calling too conservative, this, that, and whatever else. This week, what in the heck are you thinking on the third play of the game, putting TJ Hawkinson under center to do a toss play to your quarterback? You on your fourth string quarterback, and you're going to put your team in a position to get your quarterback's bell rung like that. Now, again, it's football, stuff happens, but you got that guy. And in fact, he just got suspended for 4 games for that hit. Jackson, I think his name is. Yeah. What the heck were you thinking? There were times last year where I said, you know what? The Vikings lost this game because KLC outsmarted himself, and he hasn't learned that lesson. He's still trying to be the smartest guy in the room. And don't get me wrong, I like Kevin O'Connell. I'm not quite where some people are, T-Bass in particular, which is fine. We're all out our opinions. T-Bass, I get the impression that he's pretty much kind of out on. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but what I'm saying is this. Kevin O'Connell, you do a lot of good things, but you do a lot of stupid things where you're just trying to you're outsmarting yourself. It's as simple as that. Keep it simple. Yes, defenses are, now that they have seen Josh Dobbs for 2+ games now, they're going to make their adjustments. you've got to make adjustments to your adjustment. We always talk about, well, we went into halftime and made some halftime adjustments, and then this person out-coached somebody else, and they didn't make the counter adjustments to the adjustments. Okay, that fits Kevin O'Connell right now. He's really good at scheming up. They always say the first 15 scripted plays and all this other good stuff. He's real good at that when we don't turn the ball over. And again, at some point, the turnovers, yeah, it's on coaching, but it's also on the players to execute the plays too. But come on, dude. You had an opportunity to put a death nail into getting a wild card spot. And now you're going to be in a dogfight for the rest of the season because you guys completely blew a game that you completely and utterly dominated. They had 35 minutes time of possession, 35-25 to the Vikings. And getting back to the part about don't blame the defense was gassed because they kept turning the ball over. So, KOC, this one's on you. Number one reason they lost, KOC. Number two, Alexander Mattison. I'm not letting Josh Dobbs off the hook. I mean, he had the fumble, he had the interception on a blitz. And for all the Kirk stands out there saying, oh, see, Kirk Cousins would have done this. Whatever. When the offensive line wasn't all that good and Kirk Cousins wasn't winning a game or was turning the ball over or threw a bad pass or threw an interception. So, well, it's the offensive line. He didn't have all that much time. Okay, have that same energy when Josh Dobbs gets blitzed and the one time that Ty Chandler didn't pick him up very well, hit his arm in his interception. The same group of people that wanted to give Kirk a pass want to blame Josh Dobbs for that. All right, whatever. You can miss me with that mess. But what I'm really saying is this. Offensively, you're really good at moving the ball between the 20s, but our red zone offense, yeah, okay. Great touchdown pass by Josh Dobbs. I did a short, so if you didn't see it, I put a short together, called it Josh Houdini, because that was just absolutely ridiculous. He's rolling out, and you know what Kirk would have done? He would have threw that ball away. Okay. Great play. Great run. So he counted for both the touchdowns yesterday. But this offense, red zone woes continue. You still only have one running back rushing touchdown this year. One through 11 games. Our running backs have scored exactly one touchdown. And that was by Cam Akers, who is out for the season. I mean, I'm sorry. Getting back to the Alexander Mattison bit, it's 11 games. You ain't scored a touchdown? Yeah. Really? I mean, come on. Kevin O'Connell, I ain't trying to hate. I'm not trying to pile on here, but it's the same thing week after week after week. And yeah, you're 6-5, your game above 500, you're firmly in the 7th seed, and you got some games that you should be winning. You should run off wins against Chicago and Vegas for sure, Green Bay for sure. So that's 3 more wins. That gets you to 9. Probably should at this point beat Cincinnati. That gets you to 10, being that they don't have Joe Burrow. And you get a split against Detroit. That's 11. So yeah, you can still have a successful season, but realistically, Tampa Bay, the Chargers, this game, that's 3 more wins. You could easily be 9-2 when your only losses are to Kansas City and Philadelphia. I mean, what would we be saying about the Vikings right now if they were 9-2, only losing to Philly and KC? We'd be saying, okay, we got some here. And in spite of all of the injuries, Justin Jefferson this, Kirk Cousins that, KJ Osborne this, whatever, missed opportunities. Speaking of KJ Osborne, we're going to get back to him when I get to the final, or one of my next 2 topics when I'm going to talk about the wide receiver core in general. But yeah, 1 catch for 7 yards yesterday. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to be better, Coach O'Connell. We got to be better. I don't want to hear about lessons learned because apparently you haven't learned any lessons. This team is turning the ball over way the heck too many times. And I don't want to hear, oh, the better team lost yesterday. No, you don't turn the ball over and call yourself a better team, particularly when some of them were unforced errors. Drop passes or muffed exchanges. You're not better. I mean, yeah, on paper, if the Vikings and the Broncos were to play each other 10 times on neutral fields, I'd probably pick the Vikings 6, maybe 7 times. Sure. But we don't play it on paper. We don't play on neutral fields unless it's a Super Bowl. So I'm not going to say that they were the better team, because if they were the better team, they would find a way not to turn the daggone ball over so much. But that's just me. All right, back to the chats here. I know I went a little long in that segment here, but that's all right. That's all right. I know I got some people in here that I ain't shouted out yet. Reggie says Madison better not be the lead back anymore in Tennessee. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree, Reggie. It's unbelievable. Shout out to Ditter in the building. KLC lost that game. Why are you trying to make Dobbs still in the pocket? Start Chandler. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm with you, Ditter. I am so with you. Yeah, I know. Let's see. No Lewisine talk. I'm sure T-Bass like that one. Shout out Gary in the building. What's up, SKOL, brother? Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. If we lose to the Bears, well, yes. Yeah, if he has a bad game, I go to Hall after the bye week. But that's a whole nother conversation. We'll see. I think we'll bounce back. I think we'll be all right. But yes, no, I totally agree with that point. I'm ready to go back to Hall at that point. I'm absolutely. Seems the team janitor must have got all right. I appreciate you, Lord. I appreciate you. He said, "Can I get a win?" I appreciate you, man. I do. KOC had Denver right where he wanted instead and continued to run the ball down their throats. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't understand what he's thinking. Has to make tough decisions, forget about feelings. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, I'm your coach. I'm not your friend. I'm your dad. I'm not your friend. Put somebody else in the backfield. Yeah, but you can't telegraph it either. You can't just say, "Oh, we're only going to put Ty Chandler out there when it's a running play." Defenses pick up on that pretty quick. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, T-Bass, but by the letter of the law. And again, the guy got suspended for 4 games for that hit. But you're right. Old-time football, that would have just been, hey, get on up there. Shout out Lemmy. What's going on, Lemmy? All the analytics stuff needs to stop. Ty should be running. Yes. Forget Madison is back out after the bye time. No, not after the bye. Like right now. Right now. But shout out Lemmy in the building. What's going on? Is Ham still on the team? Yes, he absolutely is. You know what? Too evil, you and T-Bass. I don't even know who to give line to the night to anymore because I'm just going to say you two got it. I'm just going to leave it at that. Had to blast some old tune. Yeah, had to do something after that loss. Had to do something. He said, "I'm old, went to bed." Yeah. Yeah, again, that was the dumbest thing ever. The dumbest thing ever. Third play of the game, and you're running some dipsy doodle. I'm going to have my tight end take the snap. How dumb was that? I'm sorry. Yeah, again, but I agree, George. He does. And he needs to be better at anticipatory throws. He needs to be better at a lot of things in the passing game, accuracy, that sort of thing. But again, the guy got here 2.5 weeks ago, and the guy's been on, 17 different teams? But all right, fair enough. We'll change her up. See, I can't use this one anymore because you know what? I'm gonna use it. You guys, I know Gary will make his comments on it. That's fine. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna rapid fire these last 2 segments, and we'll get up out of here and let you guys get back to watching the old Monday Night Football game. This third quarter just started a little bit ago, so let's wrap this up here real quick. No need to rush Justin Jefferson back. Okay, I'm done with that. He needs to play next week, period. End of discussion. Now, Dave from Vikings vs. SKOL did tell me that Justin Jefferson was interviewed and said, "Hey, I don't have him on my win, and it's out in Denver." I don't know. I didn't hear it. But it's time. I had said, you know what? If you keep winning and you can get to the bye week and then get him back after the bye week, fine. Well, you didn't win yesterday. So at the end of the day, for me, Justin Jefferson, unless there's something really, 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 really wrong going on, he needs to play next week. This team desperately needs Justin Jefferson back. Now, again, any team could use Justin Jefferson back. Okay, we get that. But defenses are starting to figure out how to stop Josh Dobbs doing the off-schedule stuff. So you need to get JJ back out there. You have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and as far as I'm concerned, Brandon Powell should be the number 3 running back when the wide receiver group is at full strength. I'm kind of done with KJ Osborne. No disrespect, nothing personal, but 2 targets yesterday for 7 yards. Was that all on him? No. But Brandon Powell, he's better than KJ is right now. He is. So is Jordan Addison. And of course, Justin Jefferson is. So all I'm saying at this point, get JJ back on the field. Because if they want to continue to put a spy on Dobbs, you want to play 10 guys against Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, and Powell and company, good luck with that. Now, again, Josh Dobbs is then going to have to get his accuracy issues back under control. He's going to have to do a little bit of a better job there. But Justin Jefferson needs to get back on the field now. All right, T-Bass, I'm with you now on that point anyway. Justin Jefferson, you're my guy. every week. I got 2 jerseys, a home jersey and an away jersey, number 18. It's the only ones I wear. You know, my pregame yesterday, I had on the Flash t-shirt that Miss Ashley gave me, or made for me anyway. I'm just going to say this right now. Don't let this season slip away. Okay, you've had your ups and downs. All right, it's time to get busy. Time to get serious. Time to get JJ back on that field post-haste. Post-haste. So unless somebody's going to tell me and come out with a report that says, oh, yeah, Justin Jefferson has had a setback and, you know, he's not ready, I'm done with it. TJ Hawkinson's been out there with busted ribs. And I know I've been the one who's been saying I don't want him to go back out there until he's 100%. But at this point, yeah, you should be able to beat the Bears without Justin Jefferson next week on Monday Night Football. You should. But I'm not taking any chance. You should have beat Denver yesterday and you didn't. So I'm done taking chances with that. So JJ, come on down. Get back on that field, brother. Get back on that field, man. No more. And like I said, KJ Osborne, take a seat. You finna be the number 4 wide receiver. Again, Jefferson, Addison, Powell, Hawkinson. That's the pecking order. Well, Hawkinson would be above Powell, but you get my point. As far as wide receivers go, Jefferson got to get back on the field like right now. And KJ Osborne, he's just a guy. He's not going to be back here next year. We all know that. It's nothing personal. Go get your bag somewhere else. Nothing against you. You're going to get your bag. That's fine. I don't blame you for that. Don't begrudge you that. It's just not going to happen right now. It's just not going to happen. And I've seen enough. I mean, that pass that Powell got, and then he's just zipping in and out like a cheetah. Like, okay, I like this guy. And Dobbs seems to like that guy too. So for me, it's time to get back to full strength. You got to hit the throttle here. You got 6 games left. You got 2 against Detroit. It's time to ramp it up. It's time to full tank it and let's go. So that's all I have to say about that. To quote the late great Forrest Gump. I'm assuming he's late anyway, but that's beside the point. All right, I got to change it up because I know everybody, we can't keep that Bruno music going all the time here, so we'll do this one. No, I don't like that one at all. We get to the comments, then we get to the last one here because I know I got a couple new people in the building here. The thing that occurred to me as I drove home watching the game is that our fan base, for a large part, is mistaken. This isn't a secretly great team with bad luck. It's that part I agree with too evil. I totally agree with that. This isn't a great team, but it has the ability to at least be a little bit more than just okay if they can get out of our own way. Okay. Now see, Lord, here's the thing. The last time I played that music, people told me that it kind of sounded like something back in the 70s, if you get what I'm saying. But that's all right. Yeah, Powell was electric. I love that guy. I absolutely do. Shout out Web Deb, bro. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you as always. Now JJ wants to get out there. He's a mobile. Well, yes, that too. Absolutely. And yeah, I agree with Lord. We can beat the Bengals now. We can definitely beat the Bengals now. Aren't we all superstitious by now? Maybe. That's a good point. He gave crap to 1 bar for removing his theologians. Oh, yeah. Well, there's that. J&J needs a warm-up game against the Bears. Yeah, I agree. If he sits out Chicago and then it's to the bye week, he's going to be gone for like 2 months, basically. Too evil, you can stop the cap. Too evil, stop the cap. Teach KOC how to keep the pedal in the middle. Yeah, well. Yeah. I'm not even putting that one up there, Lord. I'm not even putting it up there. I'm not putting it up there. Shout out, I want to mock Bob. What's going on, Bob? Good to see you. Welcome to the family, Lord. Welcome to the community. Yo, man, oh, man. All right, last one. Playoffs. Yeah, all right, so here's the deal. Vikings are still in the 7th seed, even with the loss yesterday. That's all right. But they're only a game and a half up on our old friends, the Green Bay Packers, who got that victory yesterday and now at 4-6. You're right behind Seattle 6-4 and Dallas at 7-3 for the other 2 wildcard spots. I said it last week. Get up to that 5th seed so that you can play New Orleans or Atlanta if you can't win the division, which, as I said earlier, doesn't look to be very, very good right now. But having said that, you still got a grip on the 7th seed. And again, you're fighting off Green Bay, the Rams, who are terrible, who should have had a victory over the Sea Chickens yesterday, the Falcons, who you've got a tiebreaker over. Tampa Bay, yeah, okay, you don't have the tiebreaker over them, but other than that, you got garbage teams in the Commanders, the Giants, the Bears, Cardinals, Panthers, excuse me. You can, again, as long you beat Chicago, Green Bay, Vegas, that gets you to 9, and Cincinnati gets you to 10. That should get you a wild card spot. Now, again, are we jumping for joy for getting to the wild card round and losing in the first round again? No, not really. But again, you have to adjust your expectations. If it was Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson being healthy all year and you lost in the wild card round, that would be a disappointment. With where you're at now, that'd be okay. We got something to build on. And we can give a game to New Orleans or Atlanta if we get up to the 5 seed. Do I think we could beat Philly or San Francisco? No. I know we beat San Francisco earlier, but then they trade for Chase Young. We're not beating San Francisco again. San Francisco is a notch and a half above us. But we can still make this. We can still make these playoffs. Do I think we can do some damage? Maybe a little bit. Maybe get to the divisional round and hopefully remain competitive. But for where this team is at, that's a step in the right direction. Now, if you fall flat against the Bears, as I said earlier, you go back to Jaren Hall at that point. I don't care. I want to see Hall for the rest of the season at that point because that's what I wanted before when Kirk Cousins went down. But you can still make these playoffs. We can still do something. We're still in a good position. They really would have to fall flat on their face. Like I said, I know Green Bay's a game and a half, one game back in the loss column, but we already have a victory against them. We should get a victory against them on New Year's Eve. So we should be able to hold off. This team's behind us. Maybe we sneak up and get to the 6, maybe even the 5. It's going to be tough, but it's doable. Stop turning the ball over. Stop turning the ball over. You go to the playoffs. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. But we'll see. Programming note. I'm going to try to get an episode out Thursday. I don't know that I'm going to go live. And frankly, I don't know that anybody would tune in live, being that we're going to be watching some football, getting through our food comas and, with your turkey and everything else that we got going on. And like I said, it's that time. Put in the chat what you're thankful for. I'll start. I'm thankful for the Minnesota Vikings for always keeping it interesting. But in all seriousness, I'm thanking each person that comes through these chats. Every person that has subscribed. And as I've said multiple times, I can come on, I can do a live show, I can do interacting with you guys makes it so much more. So I'm thankful for you guys. What do you guys think? What's on the docket? What's on the menu for you guys on this Thursday? I got turkey, mashed potatoes, macaroni, gravy, all that good stuff. Yeah. I'll be with my mom like for the first time in a while that my mom's giving at their house. And my mom's here for it. She's absolutely here for it. I don't gotta cook. All right. Of course, she'll probably cook this weekend anyway, but that's all right. That is all right. Like I said, I'm thankful that this team, in spite of all of the mess that it has gone through, is still not garbage. Obviously, would love to them to be a great team. I would love for this team to be 9-2 with only losing to KC and Philly. But it's better than being absolute trash right now. We'll see. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday because you got 3 football games, you got all your food, but then it's just chill. It's like, okay, let's play some dominoes, let's play some spades, let's play some cribbage. Get out your Monopoly boards, whatever it is you do. Nothing better than Thanksgiving. Yeah, New Year's Eve. Oh, sure. You stay up till midnight just to kiss the one you love and drink some champagne, say Happy New Year. You ain't got to stay up till midnight on Thanksgiving if you don't want to. You can if you want to. New Year's Eve, you almost kind of have to. But in all seriousness, I'm actually going to stay under an hour tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually going to do it. Can you believe that? All right, let's get to these last comments and get up out of here. As long as we don't have check down Charlie, we can go further than the first round. Well, that's Duncan. You are right at home. I don't hate Kirk Cousins, but I'm definitely not a Cousins crusader. Yes, as long as we don't have Captain Checkdown. Trade JJ. Get out of here. Now the team is one of probably, but that's all right. That is all right. It don't matter. It don't matter. I have no idea about where you're going with these numbers here. Okay. Cody, what in the world are you trying to talk about here? Sean Mannion, get up out of here with this mess. Last couple of minutes of audio work. Oh, really? Great. I'll say it again. That's interesting. Thanks for letting me know, Frozen. Appreciate you. I don't know why that does that. I'm still trying to figure that out. I hope I'm back here. Let me know if I'm back here or not. But in all seriousness, I was just saying that I like Thanksgiving more than anything else. More than Christmas and more than New Year's. You got your food. You got your football games. And you're not obligated to stay up till midnight. That's the short version. Shout out Sarah in the building. What's up, Queen? Good to see you. Oh, are they? Oh, I gotta check it out. My scoreboard says, what does my scoreboard say? 17-7. Okay, I'll still take that. Shout out to Sarah, by the way, who unfortunately was in a motor vehicle accident last night. She gave me the description, or gave us the description on the post-game show on Vikings First and SKOL last night. She did a couple 360s, and I'm glad you're okay, Sarah. I really, obviously. But everybody shout out Sarah here real quick on the way out. Everybody shout out Sarah. Good to see you, Sarah. Thanks for coming by. Glad you're okay, in all seriousness. With all that being said, tomorrow night, 6:30 Central Time, here on this channel, Purple and Gold for Days, with Under the Lights. And my compatriot Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk and I will be doing a crossover simulcast, as we always do. It ought to be interesting. This is the first game we've lost since Kirk Cousins went down. I'm guessing he might have a thing or two to say about that. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But if y'all could hit the like button on your way out, if you didn't hit it on the way in, wipe your feet at the door, as we say. In fact, let's get that one back up there. If you don't already subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Help me get up to 1,000, y'all. Just past 900, about 915, 17 or something like that. Share this with your friends. Put it out on Facebook. Tweet it. X it. Whatever you call it anymore. I still call it Twitter. I still call it tweets. I don't even care what Elon Musk say about that. I do not care. I don't care. But in all seriousness, share this episode. Share the channel. Help me grow this community. Thank you so much, everybody who has subscribed, to all the members and all that other good stuff. All right, hold on just a second. Well, yes, absolutely. In all seriousness, yeah, I bet. I appreciate you, Lord. Like I said, I know you just got over here recently, and then I've seen you a couple times over on One Bar and those guys, but I appreciate every person who's come through the door tonight and every night. So I'm just going to wrap by saying this. We'll see you tomorrow night, as the late, great Jack Buck would say, after Kirby Puckett's home run. We'll see you tomorrow night, 6:30 Central Time, here on Purple and Gold for Days for Under the Lights. Everybody stay safe and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Yeah, if you don't catch the episode tomorrow, and like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do for Thursday. I haven't figured that out yet. One day at a time, as they say, on a holiday week. But drive safe wherever you may be going. Hold on tight to the ones you love and let them know how thankful you are that they are a part of your lives. Because as Kirby once said at his retirement speech, tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And it's that time of year where no matter what has happened or transpired prior to this, I know I'm getting all preachy again, Lord Duncan, but that's all right. No matter what has happened, when you see your family, your friends, your loved ones, whether it's the first time you've seen them in a minute or whether you saw them the previous weekend, hug them tight and be thankful, because what else is there in life but those that you love and those you're thankful to see? So with all that said, shout out one more time, Web Dev. Shout out one more time, Lauren Duncan. Have a blessed day, bro. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys. Raymond, Frozen, Sarah, the doctor, Too Evil, Cody, all you ladies and gentlemen. It is a lot of fun tonight. Hopefully, and not even hopefully, I think the Vikings will get back on track next week against Chicago. I do. The crowd's going to be raucous. Monday Night Football. We'll all be liquored up. Might be a touch hungover from the Thanksgiving bit, but guess what? We're going to come back. We're going to come back fine. We'll be all right Monday. We'll be fine. At least that's what we tell ourselves, because we Vikings fans. But in all seriousness, thanks again kindly for joining me. SKOL to the next episode, and we will see you tomorrow night, 6:30 Central Time, for Under the Lights on Purple and Gold for Days. Thank you kindly, as always, for joining me. SKOL to the next episode. SKOL Vikings, and good night.